Water ozonation is one of the most common procedures in ozone therapy. Ozonated water differs from ozonated saline solution in that it reaches concentration faster and retains it longer. Ozonated water contains active ozone, a triatomic molecule that exhibits its properties to the fullest extent. Ozonated water can be used in a wide variety of applications: irrigating wounds, ulcers, rinsing problem areas, rinsing the oral cavity, oropharynx, flushing the ear canals, nasal passages, and for drinking in cases of gastrointestinal disorders. Essentially, the procedure itself is very similar to ozonating a saline solution. That is, gas from the ozone generator flows into a container of water and passes through it, ozonating it. At the outlet, the spent ozone-oxygen gas mixture must be directed to a destructor. To carry out this procedure, devices like these are used for water ozonation. They consist of a cap that fits most standard plastic bottles and has two fittings. One for inlet, the other for outlet, and tubes that deliver gas into the container of water. The tubes come in different sizes: 4 large volume containers and for smaller bottles. To ozonate water, you need to take the cap out of the packaging. You can see it has 2 nozzles, along with the tube through which the gas will flow. The tube should be chosen so that it reaches the bottom without bending. As you can see, the larger tube won't work here. You need to pick the smaller one. This tube is connected to the cap, and then it's simply screwed onto the bottle. I'd like to point out that the bottle should not be filled all the way to the top. You need a little space so that when the gas passes through the solution, through the liquid, the splashes don't get into the outlet tube. Then the ozone generator is connected to the tube that's attached to the diffuser. To do this, take the adapter tube, connect one end to the device's fitting, and attach the other end to the inlet.
The other end to the outlet.
To do this, take an adapter tube of sufficient length and connect it through a fitting to the destructor. To prevent liquid from getting into the device, make a small safety loop before connecting to the destructor.
That's the setup.
Then you can move on to setting the procedure parameters. To ozonate a small bottle of water, 15 minutes is enough. To do this, you need to change the time setting. Press the time button, then use the buttons to adjust the time values. Set the required 15 minutes using the plus and minus buttons. Then press the concentration button and set the required concentration. For example, 3.5. The set concentration appears on the bottom line, and the actual concentration on the top line. Once these numbers match, the command "open the valve" will appear. After opening the valve, the ozone-oxygen gas mixture begins to flow through the fitting and along the tube. It enters the flask and the ozonation of the liquid begins. You can see the tiny bubbles ozonating the liquid. Sometimes it becomes necessary to ozonate large volumes all at once. For this, you can either use a larger container or take several small bottles and connect them in series. That's perfectly fine. The ozonator is connected at the inlet of the first bottle. The outlet of the first bottle feeds into the inlet of the second, and the destructor is connected at the outlet of the second bottle. This simple setup allows you to increase the volume of liquid being processed. When the set time is up and the solution has been ozonated, the command to close the valve appears. After the valve is closed, a purge cycle runs and the device is ready for the next task.